on the previous episode of Talk That Talk.
Because we have over sexualized it in people, and sometimes I don't want to, and this may be ruffling feathers, but that's that issue that black men have with the idea of homosexuality in general. Like just really having difficult time accepting, you know, anything that's different from what they, are comfortable with. And that's a whole nother conversation. So until that conversation is had, you're gonna have all those good old boy band directors and stuff like that. That's just not gonna let it happen because they have this whole mindset of something being a certain way.
Well, I think we lost Julian, so Maya, I'll throw it to you. I'll moderate gets back. So I think it's a loaded question, Maya. But what do you think?
It's definitely a loaded question, but there's so many. As with all of my answers, there's so many different pieces to it, right? So we ask, is it inevitable? Yes. Is it already here and upon us? Yes. I say that because if we think about, or if we look at even the NFL and the NBA, there are, I believe it was 2 years ago, either 2 or 3 years ago. I believe it wasn't Detroit. It was, I can't think of it. I can't think of which team it was, but they already have introduced male dancers to their dance lines or what they consider cheerleading.
It was Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons, I think it was.
They weren't the first. Atlanta just did it this year. This is their first year, but 2 years there. I want to say it's blue and gold. Whoever's blue and gold.
The Rams?
Possibly, yes. Yeah. Yes.
So this was the NFL or NBA?
The NFL. And so this year, looking at a couple of NBA teams, I believe Golden State Warriors, I believe they have some males on their line this year. Atlanta Falcons, they do as well. I'm not sure if Detroit Lions, if they do or not. I'm not sure. But I'm saying in terms of that overall aspect of men being a part of dance lines, cheerleading, or whatever the case may be, yes, it's going to happen. Now,
2018. Sorry, Maya. It was 2018 with the Rams. Yep, the Rams.
Okay. So yeah, 28. I wasn't sure if it was 2019 or 2018. Okay, so great. The way that it's going to be, when I say attacked, I don't mean attacked in a bad way. I'm saying attacked in terms of how it's going to be implemented and done. I'm not sure what that looks like because you do have to beat the thought of homophobic activity. You do have to go with, okay, you have your alumni, you have your band directors or whomever who absolutely may be totally against it. So who is going to take the first step and be able to say, like, no, we're okay with doing this? It was bad enough when we introduced males as auxiliary coaches and sponsors. That was a hump to get over in itself. But if we look at the lineage and the history, Jackson State, they've had male twirlers in the past, male baton twirlers. So is that the same? Is it, if it was acceptable in that manner, why can't it be acceptable if you're just taking it a little bit step forward? It's still auxiliary, it's still talent. Again, I'm not sure. Yes, it's going to happen, but my other thought of it is it's possibly going to pose a safety issue. That's where my mind immediately goes. Because when we think about the sexualization of dancers, period, auxiliary, period, we just got to the idea of where it's more people are able to appreciate the talent and the artistry behind it and not just, I need something to look at. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the sexualization of it, for lack of better words. But in terms of a safety issue, being a dancer, being out front is hard enough. It's crazy enough. We've talked about it in the past. People yelling, screaming, this, that, and the third. Not having adequate security right around the girls, or being, like, can somebody walk up on you in your personal life or when you out in the band? Now, when you add on the thought of homophobia and the way which transgendered gay persons and people who identify differently than heterosexually, I'm not sure where that's going to lead to, because there is, unfortunately, there is a large possibility that if we are to implement these, men or whomever into the dance lines, like, who's to say that their livelihood is not at stake?